The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. 38. High day? No day. That's what day is. Low day doesn't lack day. That's what day is not. Those highest in day take no action and don't need to act. Those lowest in day take action and do need to act. Those highest in benevolence take action but don't need to act. Those highest in righteousness take action and do need to act. Those highest in propriety take action, and if people don't reciprocate, roll up their sleeves and throw them out. Therefore, lose Tao, and day follows. Lose day, and benevolence follows. Lose benevolence, and righteousness follows. Lose righteousness, and propriety follows. Propriety dilutes loyalty and sincerity. Confusion begins. Foreknowledge glorifies the Tao. Stupidity sets in. And so the ideal person dwells in substance, not dilution, in reality, not glory, accepts one, rejects the other. 39. Of old, these attained the One. Heaven attaining the One became clear. Earth attaining the One became stable. Spirits attaining the One became sacred. Valleys attaining the One became bountiful. Myriad beings attaining the One became fertile. Lords and kings attaining the One purified the world. If heaven were not clear, it might split. If earth were not stable, it might erupt. If spirits were not sacred, they might fade. If valleys were not bountiful, they might wither. If myriad beings were not fertile, they might perish. If rulers and lords were not noble, they might stumble. Therefore, noble has humble as its root. High has low as its foundation. Rulers and lords call themselves poor, lonely orphans. Isn't this using humility as a root? They use many carriages, but have no carriage. They do not desire to glisten like jade, but drop like a stone. 40. Reversal is Tao's movement. Yielding is Tao's practice. All things originate from being. Being originates from non-being. 41. The great scholar, hearing the Tao, tries to practice it. The middling scholar, hearing the Tao, sometimes has it, sometimes not. The lesser scholar, hearing the Tao, has a good laugh. Without that laughter, it wouldn't be Tao. Therefore, these sayings: the bright road seems dark. The road forward seems to retreat. The level road seems rough. Great day seems hollow. Great purity seems sullied. Pervasive day seems deficient. Established day seems furtive. Simple truths seem to change. The great square has no corners. The great vessel is finished late. The great sound is scarcely voiced. The great image has no form. Tao hides no name. Yet Tao alone gets things done. 42. Tao engenders one. One engenders two. Two engenders three. Three engenders the 10,000 things. The 10,000 things carry shade and embrace sunlight. Shade and sunlight, yin and yang, breath blending into harmony. Humans hate to be alone, poor and hungry, yet kings and princes use these words as titles. We gain by losing, lose by gaining. What others teach, I also teach. A violent man does not die a natural death. This is the basis of my teaching. 43. The softest thing in the world rides roughshod over the strongest. No thing enters no space. This teaches me the benefit of no action. Teaching without words, benefit without action. Few in this world can attain this. 44. Name or body? Which is closer? Body or possessions? Which means more? Gain or loss? Which one hurts? Extreme love exacts a great price. Many possessions entail heavy loss. Know what is enough. Abuse nothing. Know when to stop. Harm nothing. This is how to last a long time. 45. Great accomplishment seems unfinished, but its use is continuous. Great fullness seems empty, but in use is inexhaustible. Great straightness seems bent. Great skill seems clumsy. Great eloquence seems mute. Exertion overcomes cold. Calm overcomes heat. Pure calm is the norm under heaven. 46. With Tao under heaven, stray horses fertilize the fields. Without Tao under heaven, war horses are bred at the frontier. There is no greater calamity than not knowing what is enough. There is no greater fault than desire for success. Therefore, knowing that enough is always enough. 47. Without going out the door, know the world. Without peeping through the window, see heaven's Tao. The further you travel, the less you know. This is why the sage knows without budging, identifies without looking, does without trying. 48. Pursue knowledge, gain daily. Pursue Tao, lose daily. Lose and again lose. Arrive at non-doing. Non-doing, and nothing not done. Take the entire world as nothing. Make the least effort, and the world escapes you. 49. The sage has no set heart. Ordinary people's hearts become the sage's heart. People who are good, I treat well. People who are not good, I also treat well. De as goodness. Trustworthy people, I trust. Untrustworthy people, I also trust. De as trust. Sages create harmony under heaven, blending their hearts with the world. Ordinary people fix their eyes and ears on them, but sages become the world's children. 50. Emerge into life. Enter death. Life is only the 13 body parts. Death is only the 13 body parts. Human life, moving towards death, is the same 13. Why is this? Because life gives life to substance. You have heard of people good at holding on to life. Walking overland, they don't avoid rhinos and tigers. In battle, they don't arm themselves. The rhino's horn finds nothing to gore. The tiger's claws find nothing to flay. Weapons find nothing to pierce. Why is this? They have no mortal spot. 51. Tao bears them. De nurses them. Events form them. Energy completes them. Therefore, the 10,000 beings honor Tao and respect De. Tao is honored. De is respected, because they do not give orders, but endure in their own nature. Therefore, Tao bears them, and De nurses them, rears them, raises them, shelters them, nurtures them, supports them, protects them, bears them without owning them, helps them without coddling them, rears them without ruling them. This is called original De. 52. The world has a source, the world's mother. Once you have the mother, you know the children. Once you know the children, return to the mother. Your body dies. There is no danger. Block the passage. Bolt the gate. No strain until your life ends. Open the passage. Take charge of things. No relief until your life ends. Seeing the small is called brightness. Maintaining gentleness is called strength. Use this brightness to return to brightness. Don't cling to your body's woes. Then you can learn endurance. 53. Having some knowledge when walking the great Tao only brings fear. The great Tao is very smooth, but people like rough trails. The government is divided. Fields are overgrown. Granaries are empty, but the nobles' clothes are gorgeous. Their belts show off swords, and they are glutted with food and drink. Personal wealth is excessive. This is called thieves' endowment, but it is not Tao. 54. Well planted, not uprooted. Well embraced, never lost. Descendants will continue the ancestral rituals. Maintain oneself, day becomes real. Maintain the family, day becomes abundant. Maintain the community, day becomes extensive. Maintain the country, day becomes prolific. Maintain the world, day becomes omnipresent. Therefore, through self, contemplate self. Through family, contemplate family. Through community, contemplate community. Through country, contemplate country. Through world, contemplate world. How do I know the world? Like this. 55. Be filled with day like a baby. Wasps, scorpions, and vipers do not sting it. Fierce tigers do not stalk it. Birds of prey do not attack it. Bones weak, muscles soft, but its grasp is tight. It does not yet know union of male and female, but its sex is formed, its vital essence complete. It can scream all day and not get hoarse. Its harmony is complete. Knowing harmony is called endurance. Knowing endurance is called illumination. Increasing life is called fortune. Mind-controlling energy is called power. When beings prosper and grow old, call them not Tao. Not Tao soon ends. 56. Those who know don't talk. Those who talk don't know. Block the passage. Bolt the gate. Blunt the sharp. Untie the knot. Blend with the light. Become one with the dust. This is called original unity. It can't be embraced. It can't be escaped. It can't be helped. It can't be harmed. It can't be exalted. It can't be despised. Therefore, it is revered under heaven. 57. Use the expected to govern the country. Use surprise to wage war. Use non-action to win the world. How do I know? Like this. The more prohibitions and rules, the poorer people become. The sharper people's weapons, the more they riot. The more skilled their techniques, the more grotesque their works. The more elaborate the laws, the more they commit crimes. Therefore, the sage says, I do nothing, and people transform themselves. I enjoy serenity, and people govern themselves. I cultivate emptiness, and people become prosperous. I have no desires, and people simplify themselves. 58. If government is muted and muffled, people are cool and refreshed. If government investigates and intrudes, people are worn down and hopeless. Bad fortune rests upon good fortune. Good luck hides within bad luck. Who knows how it will end? If there is no principle, principle reverts to disorder. Good reverts to calamity. People's confusion hardens and lingers on. Therefore the sage squares without cutting, corners without dividing, straightens without extending, shines without dazzling. 59. Governing people and serving heaven is like living off the land. Living sparingly and responding quickly means accumulating day. There is nothing that cannot be overcome. There is no limit. You can become the country and the country's mother, and nourish and extend it. This is called deep roots, firm base. This is the Tao of living long and seeing far. 60. Govern big countries like you cook little fish. When Tao harmonizes the world, demons lose their power. Not that demons lose their power, but their power does not harm people. Not that their power does not harm people, but the sage does not harm people. If neither does harm, then day flows and returns. 61. A great nation flows down to be the world's pool, the female under heaven. In stillness, the female constantly overcomes the male. In stillness takes the low place. Therefore, a great nation lowers itself and wins over a small one. A small nation keeps itself low and wins over a great one. Something becoming low wins. Something staying low wins. A great nation desires nothing more than to unite and protect people. A small nation desires nothing more than to enter the service of people. When both get what they wish, the great one should be low. 62. Tao is the mysterious center of all things, a treasure for those who are good, a refuge for those who are not. Beautiful words can be traded. Noble deeds can enhance reputations, but if people lack them, why should they be rejected? When the Son of Heaven is enthroned, and the 3 ministers installed, presenting jade discs and 4-horse chariots, cannot compare to sitting still and offering the Tao. The ancients honored this Tao. Didn't they say, "Through it seekers find, through it the guilty escape"? This is why Tao is honored under heaven. 63. Act without acting. Serve without serving. Taste without tasting. Big, little, many, few. Repay hatred with day. Map difficult through easy. Approach great through narrow. The most difficult things in the world must be accomplished through the smallest. Therefore, the sage never attempts great things, and so accomplishes them. Quick promises mean little trust. Everything easy means great difficulty. Thus, for the sage, everything is difficult, and so, in the end, nothing is difficult. 64. At rest is easy to hold. Not yet impossible is easy to plan. Brittle is easy to break. Fine is easy to scatter. Create before it exists. Lead before it goes astray. A tree too big to embrace is born from a slender shoot. A 9-story tower rises from a pile of earth. A 1,000-mile journey begins with a single step. Act, and you ruin it. Grasp, and you lose it. Therefore, the sage does not act, and so does not ruin, does not grasp, and so does not lose. People commonly ruin their work when they are near success. Proceed at the end as at the beginning, and your work won't be ruined. Therefore, the sage desires no desires, prizes no prizes, studies no studies, and returns to what others pass by. The sage helps all beings find their nature, but does not presume to act. 65. Taoist rulers of old did not enlighten people, but left them dull. People are difficult to govern because they are very clever. Therefore, ruling through cleverness leads to rebellion. Not ruling through cleverness brings good fortune. Know these 2 things, and understand the enduring pattern. Understand the enduring pattern. This is called original day. Original day goes deep and far. All things reverse, return, and reach the great headwaters. 66. Rivers and seas can rule the 100 valleys, because they are good at lying low. They are lords of the valleys. Therefore, those who would be above must speak as if they are below. Those who would lead must speak as if they are behind. In this way the sage dwells above, and the people are not burdened, dwells in front, and they are not hindered. Therefore, the whole world is delighted and unwearied. Since the sage does not contend, no one can contend with the sage. 67. Everyone under heaven calls my Tao great, and unlike anything else. It is great only because it is unlike anything else. If it were like anything else, it would stretch and become thin. I have 3 treasures to maintain and conserve. The first is compassion. The second is frugality. The third is not presuming to be first under heaven. Compassion leads to courage. Frugality allows generosity. Not presuming to be first creates a lasting instrument. Nowadays, people reject compassion, but want to be brave. Reject frugality, but want to be generous. Reject humility, and want to come first. This is death. Compassion. Attack with it and win. Defend with it and stand firm. Heaven aids and protects through compassion. 68. The accomplished person is not aggressive. The good soldier is not hot-tempered. The best conqueror does not engage the enemy. The most effective leader takes the lowest place. This is called the De of not contending. This is called the power of the leader. This is called matching heaven's ancient ideal. 69. There is a saying in the army, I do not presume to be the master, but become the guest. I do not dare advance an inch, but retreat a foot. This is called moving without moving, rolling up sleeves without baring your arms, repelling without opposing, wielding without a weapon. There is no disaster greater than contempt for the enemy. Contempt for the enemy, what a treasure is lost. Therefore, when the fighting gets hot, those who grieve will conquer. 70. My words are very easy to understand, very easy to practice. No one under heaven can understand them. No one can practice them. Words have ancestors. Deeds have masters. If people don't understand this, they don't understand me. Few understand me, and that is my value. Therefore, the sage wears rough clothing and carries jade inside. 71. Know not knowing, supreme. Not know knowing, faulty. Only faulting faults is faultless. The sage is faultless by faulting faults, and so is without fault. 72. When people are not in awe of power, power becomes great. Do not intrude into their homes. Do not make their lives weary. If you do not weary them, they will not become weary of you. Therefore, the sage has self-knowledge without self-display, self-love without personal pride, rejects one, accepts the other. 73. Courage to dare kills. Courage not to dare saves. One brings profit, one brings harm. Heaven hates what it hates. Who knows why? Even the sage finds it difficult. Heaven's Tao does not contend, but prevails, does not speak, but responds, is not summoned, but arrives, is utterly still, but plans all actions. Heaven's net is wide, wide, loose, but nothing slips through. 74. If people do not fear death, how can you threaten them with death? But if people with a normal fear of death are about to do something vicious, and I could seize and execute them, Who would dare? There is always an official executioner trying to take the executioner's place. Is like trying to replace a master woodworker. Few would not slice their own hands. 75. People are hungry when rulers tax grain. People are hungry. People are rebellious. When rulers are active, people are rebellious. People ignore death. When searching only for life's bounty, people ignore death. Only those who don't strive after life truly respect life. 76. Humans are born soft and weak. They die stiff and strong. The 10,000 plants and trees are born soft and tender, and die withered and sere. The stiff and strong are death's companions. The soft and weak are life's companions. Therefore, the strongest armies do not conquer. The greatest trees are cut down. The strong and great sink down. The soft and weak rise up. 77. Heaven's Tao is a stretched bow, pulling down the top, pulling up the bottom. If it's too much, cut. If it's not enough, add on to it. Heaven's Tao. The human root is not like this, depriving the poor, offering to the rich. Who has a surplus and still offers it to the world? Only those with Tao. Therefore, the sage acts and expects nothing, accomplishes and does not linger, has no desire to seem worthy. 78. Nothing in the world is soft and weak as water, but when attacking the hard and strong, nothing can conquer so easily. Weak overcomes strong, soft overcomes hard. Everyone knows this. No one attains it. Therefore, the sage says, accept a country's filth and become master of its sacred soil. Accept a country's ill fortune and become king under heaven. True words resemble their opposites. 79. Appease great hatred, and hatred will remain. How can this be good? Therefore the sage holds the tally, but does not judge people. Those who have De control the tally. Those who lack De collect their due. Heaven's Tao has no favorites, but endures in good people. 80. Small country, few people. Hundreds of devices, but none are used. People ponder on death and don't travel far. They have carriages and boats, but no one goes on board. Weapons and armor, but no one brandishes them. They use knotted cords for counting. Sweet their food, beautiful their clothes, peaceful their homes, delightful their customs. Neighboring countries are so close you can hear their chickens and dogs, but people grow old and die without needing to come and go. 81. Sincere words are not pretty. Pretty words are not sincere. Good people do not quarrel. Quarrelsome people are not good. The wise are not learned. The learned are not wise. The sage is not acquisitive, has enough. By doing for others, has even more. By giving to others. Heaven's Tao benefits and does not harm. The sage's Tao acts and does not contend.